freshman year. I had my first career start. I was super excited about it. And I go in my first shot, hit the side of the backboard. Boom, boom, out of bounds. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. After that game of just being like, this sucks.
Something in front of you, there's a wall in front of you, and you're just like, I don't want to face this. But then you do, you break that wall down.
It's so hard in the moments though. Like all of us have those moments a lot.
What would you say one core value?
There's a lot. He's talked to me a lot about this theory of, it's called the S curve. And a lot of times like it works like you're gelling, you're really gelling and it's working. It seems like everything's like nothing's going wrong. So it kind of reaches a low plateau and it might feel like it's degressing a little bit. But eventually if you can keep doing with the same habits and same things that you're doing before, it will rise up again. Kind of my slogan is work with faith. So much of what we're doing in the moment, we don't know what the future is going to be like. We just have to have faith that our work is going to have results.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jared McGregor. Welcome to Rise and Lead, a deep dive into leadership sponsored by Pennant, a force for leadership, mentorship, and building what's next. Today, we're super excited to have the Tater Tot King himself, Richie Saunders. Welcome to the pod, man.
Man, happy to be here, man.
It's good to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, particularly from a leadership standpoint. Like, who are some leaders for you growing up?
Yeah. I mean, right off the bat, I think my dad has been a huge leader for me. And my dad, he is kind of what he does even for work is works a lot with helping bring people together. And, just watching him growing up of how he was just a leader and just in his like work side of things, but also just man, he's taught me so much from a just strictly speaking leadership. He's taught me so much of how to lead and how to care for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
What was like, what would you say one core value that he had, that he taught you, that you still carry with you today?
I mean, there's a lot. But I would say that it's like he's talked to me a lot about this theory of, it's called the S curve. So, I mean, this applies to so many different things, and he's talked to me a lot about it in leadership as well, and helping form a team and getting a team to work together. But not everything is perfect, right? So you have a team. It's just, it takes time, and a lot of times, like it works like you're gelling, you're really gelling, and it's working. It seems like everything's like nothing's going wrong. And then it reaches kind of like a plateau, where stuff kind of starts to maybe it's not as smooth, right? So it kind of reaches a little plateau, and it might feel like it's degressing a little bit.
Yeah.
But eventually, if you can keep doing with the same habits and same things that you're doing before, it will rise up again. And it's just this continual pattern of being consistent with what you're doing as a team that has helped you to continue to rise. So again, the theory of the S curve is it's a continual, like the good direction. It's going in a
trajectory.
Yeah, exactly,
Right? Yeah.
exactly.
It's interesting. Sounds a little familiar what we're going through right now, right? Like we're talking about, like it feels like we were just barely at the Sweet 16. Like, here we are, we're rolling. Then you get a new team, and there are harder days, but you have to. Some might say you got to keep stacking those days, right?
Yeah.
Keep that trajectory
100%.
on the uphill. You had some early mornings with your pops, right? 5:30 a.m. Like, what was that like?
Yeah.
Every single day?
Every day for over a decade. 4:55 in the gym, and a lot of these things that I take were. But after our workout, my dad, we're talking a lot about, but he's a very philosophical guy and in just the greatest of ways that is. But he, a lot of times he would take me to the chalkboard in the church gym and just kind of draw or write something down, and kind of a principle to think about. But like that's those are some of the best memories that I have of just forcing myself to get out of bed and to just working.
Right. Speaking of memories, talking about Mountain Stars, you grew up playing for Mountain Stars, playing under Marty
Yeah,
Haas.
yeah,
What are some of your best memories from AAU ball?
yeah. I mean, it's those are just fun because it just seems like you lose and it's not the end of the world. You got another game in an hour or whatever,
Yeah,
right? It's
for real.
but just going and I mean, basketball's given me so much. It's taken me all over the world and it's taught me so much and given me just so much. But I mean, just 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 those times in the gym, whether it's here in Utah or other gyms, I just cherish those memories, of just competing with people. It's so funny because it just seems it's felt so like serious during those times, but
Mhm.
looking back, it was just so much fun, and
Oh man.
now it is so much fun still, but it's just a business and it's all this kind of stuff now. But yeah,
Yeah, nothing like AAU ball.
yeah,
Some of my best memories
yeah,
too. Um, you said basketball's taking you all over the world, including Mali. You've been there a few times. Tell us a little bit about that. What was your most memorable trip to
yeah.
Mali?
I mean, if you remember first one we went together, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that first trip, I've been back several times, but I mean, we did a lot of humanitarian work, putting on basketball camps and putting up basketball hoops and drilling wells, and um, we started an English academy, and there's there's been a lot. We've done a lot over the years, but that first one, like, we're talking. So how it is in Mali, right? Like
Way too hot.
for everybody that doesn't
Way
know,
too
it's like
hot.
there's
Way
a
too hot.
rainy and a season and a dry season. We went there during the peak dry season,
It was bad.
and it was it was I had to be 120
Yeah.
and
Pretty close.
103 in the at night.
Yeah. Bro, I
And
remember going to bed at night, like you couldn't
oh,
move. You couldn't move
it's
or else you start
it's
sweating.
the
It was
worst.
like you just had to lay
It
still,
makes me anxious just thinking about that.
right?
But man, I mean that that's so much fun now that we're not in that, but so
Right.
many good people over there and those relationships that been able to grow over there is it's just I love. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all a part of leadership is you have to experience things
Yeah.
and you have to get outside of your comfort zone. Just like even talking about that first trip, there's nothing about that trip of working all day in the sun, eating not the best food.
Pitas with PB and
Pita,
J.
yeah, 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 peanut butter and jelly sandwich, man. Um,
Crazy, man.
and having to figure out how to sleep, like all that is just character building,
Yep.
which in turn is leader building leaders. I feel like.
Totally. Totally. Transitioning from high school days, looking forward to your college career. You had a bunch of offers coming out of high school. Why were you drawn to BYU?
Mhm.
What made you choose the Cougs?
Yeah, I mean, it seems so long ago, and but just in high school, I really felt like um, I felt like I wanted to go somewhere that I could become the best version of myself, and that would help me and do that. And I really felt like BYU could help me do that on and off the court.
Hmm.
3 times I've had the option to kind of go elsewhere and pursue stuff elsewhere, including that first time. But for some reason, I just have been here, and I'm so grateful. It's changed my life and
Mm-hmm.
taught me so much about leading, about just being a human being, in a world,
Mm-hmm.
in a grown up world, and
Yep.
um, yeah,
So that trip to the Sweet 16, what did that teach you? And how, what's next for BYU, right?
yeah,
I mean, we know how to get there. You've experienced it.
yeah,
I've experienced it, but like, how do you take that next step?
yeah. It's I mean, the same similar things. Like we're in a time where it's a new team, right? It's just such a new team with new dynamics and all that, and we're gonna to figure that out over the course of the season. But that's the beauty of a season is you have all of these experiences and opportunities to stop and to give up and kind of quit or just feel bad for yourself, or to
Mhm.
on the other side to get up and keep moving forward. I look back at last year starting out conference where going a 3-game slide, 1-3, and just being like, there's no way this is real. Like, this was supposed to be so amazing, but yet here we are stuck.
Yep.
And it's easy looking back to be like, well, it all turned out good. It's easy. But like in that moment, right? Like what we had to do is I called some of the other guys on the team and said, hey, we need to have a meeting with our team, just us. And, some of those things that came out of that meeting were just like, we need to get back to loving the game of basketball. We need to get back to playing for each other.
Right.
And then in turn, or in addition to that, playing harder than than the other guys.
Yep.
Like our opponents.
Yep.
And I feel like, again, you never know what the future has in store. But I feel like we can, just as in our own groups, in our own teams or whatever, and in our own self, of just like, we have to get back to just the joy we have for stuff and the real reasons why we're doing stuff. Just in closing, like, as we're looking forward to this year, like, there's going to be those times where we're going to have to figure out what we're made of as a group.
Yeah.
Trying right now to establish those good habits of playing for each other and not being so individualistic in this team, and all those little details like that. It's easy when it's fine when stuff's going good, but when it gets bad and it gets hard, I guess I should say, it gets hard, that's when it's really important,
right,
that we've established the just those habits and those good things as a team.
I think that one of the most important things as a leader is a perspective. Like you said, like, things get hard, you have good, you have bad days, and it's easy to get tunnel vision and get locked in on like what's going on now.
Yeah.
But being able to like zoom out and be like, okay, what's the bigger picture here? Like when we were 1-3 to start conference, we kind of zoomed out for a second. It's like, all right, we're good. Like we have everything in front of us still.
Yeah,
let's keep moving forward. Right.
100%.
What are you've played with a lot of different players, a lot of great leaders. What are some common traits, common threads that you've seen within each of those leaders?
Yeah, I feel like, there's so many good leaders that I've been with, and some of the best ones are, first off, they do instead of just say, and everything's a we instead of a you need to do this. It's more of a we. It's a collective mindset,
right?
As well as like, it's clear that that like when I'm struggling, I can turn to these people, and they're gonna like actually want and have the ability to help me figure stuff out.
Right.
What's
I'm curious, like, one setback or one mistake that you've had on the basketball court that could have brought you down, but you were able to maintain perspective of that bigger picture and get over that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, there's so many, and do my best to not dwell on that, especially as a shooter. Like,
short memory.
That's like the whole thing. Because
exactly,
even in this last game, I was like, man, like I was shooting so bad, and then I looked at the numbers. I was like, oh, it wasn't as bad. I thought it was terrible, but I mean, it wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, clearly. But like, it's just such an interesting thing to have that perspective. But I think going back to my freshman year, I had my first career start. I was super excited about it, and I go, and my first shot hit the side of the backboard.
Oh no!
It just went boom, boom, out of bounds, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Welcome to the game.
This is so embarrassing. And a lot of other mistakes happened that game. And I remember after that game of just being like, this sucks. And I was sitting in the next day in the cold tub, just like, we lost the game, and it was a pretty traumatic thing, but just my head just spinning.
Right.
And talking to somebody, and just like, man, like, everybody's just looking at me like I'm a sad dog. Like, and then he looked at me and said, it's because you're acting like a sad dog. And if you act like that, they're gonna think that. So he said, change your attitude. You need to move on and figure it out. Don't just be sad and feel sorry for yourself.
Right. you went from essentially a role player your freshman year. You said you got your first start your freshman year. Last year, your first team all Big 12. What was that process like, that transition, in terms of your mindset, in terms of your leadership as well?
Yeah. I mean, um, short, whatever. Long story short, like the S curve is what it is. Just that consistent, um, like just being willing to just keep working, and like I think as was what I tell all of my like when I speak in different things is like kind of my slogan is work with faith. So much of what we're doing in the moment, we don't know what the future is going to be like. And we just have to have faith that our work is going to have results. And I felt like I had to figure out how to maintain that. And there was a lot of changes throughout those years and a lot of things moved and changed, but the only thing that was constant was work.
Right.
Um, and from a leadership standpoint, so much is the same, but I had to learn how it's okay to learn from other leaders. You don't need to be there right when you arrive. Right when I got on campus, I didn't need to be the leader. I had to learn before to if you want to say like I had to learn how to crawl before I knew could
Mhm.
walk and
Right.
walk before I run, kind
Right.
of a thing.
Yeah.
But you learn over with experiences.
Sure. Sure. Speaking of work, I just want to give a shout out to you because I remember I think it was last summer. Yeah, last summer before the season, you were in the gym every single morning with your dad, right? Didn't your
Yes.
pops come and shoot with you every morning?
I mean, he was there about every few weeks and
Yeah.
stuff.
And it was crazy. So I was like, this guy just keeps going. Like, how does he keep going? Because worked out in the morning, we had practice in the afternoon, and it was every single day, clockwork. How do you maintain that mentality? Like, because everyone talks about your motor, how you just keep going. Like, is that a mental thing, or is that just like how can people obtain that, and how is that not just a
Yeah.
Richie thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And I feel like I just want to say like on my mission, like there was something about having to face I was in Seattle. It was dark and rainy like 90% of the time and having to face getting up and getting out of bed knowing that I was just going to be just hammered by the rain all day, yelled at people, but yet having to figure out how to keep moving forward. Like that's honestly where just doing that for like not just a day or a week, but doing that for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like that's something that changed my heart. But now as a basketball player, like I just know that like I believe that God gives us opportunities and I want with everything I can to make the most of these opportunities
Hmm.
and take advantage of the opportunities in life. And everybody has these different opportunities right now for me like it's highly centered around basketball. And I just want to, when I look back on it, just to be able to just be like, I did absolutely everything I could to make the most of these opportunities and chances that I had.
Right.
And so I feel like for people that are wanting to kind of figure that out in their own industry or own field, like it's just a like ability of just we don't want to get out of bed and we don't want to have to move forward and face the hard. We're tired. It's like, oh well, I went to the gym yesterday. Like now I'm sore. But it's just a matter of like in those moments deciding to just get out of bed or
Do it.
take the steps
Yeah.
to get there. And it's amazing what happens when you do that over time. Like
Right.
it's like that's my story is that to a T. I feel like
Right. I feel like it just brings joy. Like when
yeah,
there's just something in front of you, there's a wall in front of you, and you're just like, I don't want to face this. But then you do, you break that wall down, and it's like you're
yeah.
happy. That's real
It's
joy.
so hard in the moments though, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like we always like all of us have those moments a lot, like it's not fun in those moments. It's not no like, nobody wants to face those and
Yeah.
have to face like I think for example like the one of the biggest examples of that is watching film, being like after a loss, I'll say,
Yeah.
just like I don't want to watch this. I don't want to have to face this,
Mhm.
but when you face it and you learn and you can move forward, it's like you're saying, it's big things happen.
Yeah. Transitioning to last year, the new coach, KY, what did you see from him, or what kind of tone did he set that you were impressed with that made you stick around?
Yeah, I mean, he says what he's thinking, and he says it straight. To me, that was a big deal of like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I want to, again, what I said earlier, I want to be the best version that I can in this game. And I don't want anything to be sugarcoated. I don't want anything to be said differently. I want us to know exactly what not only, I want to know exactly how to do that and how, in this case, how he was going to help me do that.
Let's take a quick time out and give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Pennant, where great leadership doesn't stop on the court. Pennant trains and empowers leaders to run local healthcare businesses that create life-changing service in the home health, hospice, home care, and senior living industries. With over 160 companies across the country, supported by a world-class service center of experts, Pennant has hundreds of new life-changing opportunities opening every year. Pennant is searching for driven, mission-minded team members who want to raise their leadership to a higher level. Are you ready to lead with a purpose? Learn more at pennantgroup.com/lead. Let's get back to the pod. How do you balance like your individual goals versus team goals? Because I think, I don't know, that's such a hard balance to find when you're on the court with, 4 other incredible players. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of every single team. And I feel like in every industry, right? But like just basketball or sports specific, like that is exactly what happens with every team. Is you have to figure out, and have to do this as early as you can, but you have to figure out how to really buy into, if we can do this together and figure out how to just put our stuff to the side and our individual stuff and really focus on the team, that in turn, by doing that, you win. And you all can reach your individual goals.
Right.
It's so true. It's more than anything, like it's true as if you can just figure out how to get people to buy into the common goal and win because of your bought in and you know how to do it and actually execute, your individual goals are realized even more than you think.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I talked today about like, man, like if we're worried about getting ours, like we'll be good. Like we're a talented team, but if we want to be great, like we learn how to be as a team. And I think that good leaders know how to get everyone involved. What's one way that you kind of get everyone involved? Because you are good at that. You're good at recognizing strengths and getting the whole team involved. But tell us a little bit more about.
Yeah, that's a big question because I'm super imperfect at it and have been having to learn that right there over the last little bit. And that's honestly been the biggest challenge that I'm currently facing, is that. But I think like what you said of like everybody has their own strengths, and seeing that, like, for example, like Rob Wright on our team is our point guard. He is so fast. And if we can figure out how to come up and maybe set like a guard-to-guard screen where there's maybe a little bit of confusion on who's guarding Rob, and say, for example, who's guarding me, and allowing him to use that confusion to get downhill, like that right there is one of the best things could happen, because that's one of his strengths. So I feel like if you can first like identify each other's strengths and realize that you don't need to do everything, especially if we're trying to perform at a high level. You don't need to be good at everything, but you need to be good at what you do, and be okay with other people being better at certain aspects.
Yeah.
And so using all those individual things and just coming together and figuring out how to just use those things for a common goal.
Right. Give us a little bit of the inside scoop. Who on the team, like, who pushes you to be better, and like who? Hold on, I'm gonna rephrase this. So take us in. Take us inside practice a little bit. Who on the team holds you accountable, and who pushes you to be better?
I mean, there's plenty guys on the floor, but I'd say more than anybody is JL, John Linehan, one of our assistant coaches, who I'm just super grateful for his influence in my life. But I know with him, like he's gonna tell me what he sees, and I trust what he sees, um, as a leader and as just a player. And so I think I think just that question, I think it's a really important thing to have people that you trust and you can trust getting held accountable by them.
Right. Right. Um, sorry.
And just one more thing on that. I think the better, for example, we will be as a team is the better that everybody is willing to hold each other accountable.
Yep.
Well, I think especially with like a big jump from high school to college that I found and I've seen in through my years is like people aren't willing to talk, aren't willing to see the game how they're seeing it. And in turn, I think that is a disadvantage.
Right.
It's just if we can figure out how in all of our individual like teams to see what we're saying and have other people that are willing to see what they see, that will be so much better.
Yeah. So we're just trying to get on the same page. I mean,
100%.
like that's why we communicate.
Yeah.
That's the importance of it.
So true.
Give us a little bit behind the scenes, Richie Saunders. What's something you do that people might not know about you? Whether that's, let's talk game prep. Like, what do you do before a game to get ready?
Yeah. I've had to get away from a lot of my superstitions. I used to be so superstitious to like everything I would put out a certain way or eat or all this stuff. But I mean, one of the things that has stayed common is a quick nap before and right when you wake up. You can do, I mean, reasonably do whatever. I try to keep it super light during the day,
Right.
but once I take my nap, then that's kind of when it's like, okay, now
Good to go.
let's do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just shifted through the years, but I try to listen to after that, just up until game time, just kind of like chill music, nothing too like amped up. I need my heart to kind of
Gotta be able to settle
be
down a little bit.
relaxed and
Yeah.
just enjoy the moment. And I've been imperfect at that. I'm trying to get better at that of just enjoy the process and the moment instead of being so uptight and
Right.
just stressed out about everything.
Right. Speaking of that, when the game gets crazy, when the emotions are high, what do you do to stay calm and kind of get back to baseline?
Yeah. I've had a lot of good mentors that have kind of helped me see that of just say even if I'm subbed out, just to just kind of relax for a little bit, not be so up into it, and trying to find the balance of like cheering on your teammates and not letting your heart rate stay high while you're on the bench because that's a time when you need your heart rate to rest. Because in those moments, it's super important that you have control of your heart. I feel like in my mind, and so I really try to say again while I'm checked out to kind of let my heart rate just relax,
Right.
but also like keep keep breathing and um, um, just have deeper breaths and all that during those times. Because for me, like, and this is different for everybody, but for
Yeah.
me, like, I feel like my energy is there, and so I have to make sure it's not over the top.
Right.
And I've had to learn that.
Right. Shout out to the psychology team, right? Teach us how to breathe.
Yes, yes, P Squad, man. Craig
Um,
Manning too, for sure.
uh, okay. How would you define success, and how has your definition of success evolved since high school
Mhm.
to your first season at BYU to now?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, first couple things that come to mind of is just becoming the best version of yourself and as a team as you can. And I think the only way to do that, again, kind of what I've said earlier, but just consistently working hard. And if you're consistently working hard, then I believe that results come
Mhm.
and you can reach that potential. But I also think like when you are working so hard at something and you reach a new frontier, and then it's a new challenges, new set of challenges, and all that kind of stuff that can be a barrier to success. All those challenges that you just have to keep figuring out Man, I'm just laughing because what I'm saying is so much of what I've already said, but of just breaking into the new barriers and still doing what you need to do, because it's so cool because you can just keep leveling up.
Right.
And that success has changed for me of just, man, like, for example, I am so grateful for this last season to where I opened up a new frontier for my basketball game, and realizing this summer I'm like, one of the reasons why I didn't go to the draft this last year was because I reset frontier and was like, man, I want to get better at ball handling. I want to get better at one-on-one defense. Like, I'm like, wow, I actually can reach these things now instead of just having to focus on other more basic stuff that I've had to focus on. So I think that just being willing to just adapt to what success is in the present.
Right. Because I think everyone defines success differently. Your stats, your highlights. How do you keep your confidence rooted in something deeper than that?
Yeah.
And particularly to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because it's all about highlights. It's all about highlights these days. It's all about stats. Like, what is real success? I feel like you talked about it. It's, progression, getting better.
Yeah.
But dive a little deeper.
It's so wild what happens when you focus on those stats and all that. When you're uptight and thinking about your stats and all that kind of stuff, like, it's crazy how your focus is gone. Whether that's a good stats or bad stats, you're focused on those numbers versus the goal. And as in your organization, when people are starting to talk about their individual metrics and stuff, like, that's an issue. That's a red flag, because, like, that means the focus isn't on the common goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I'm learning with this new generation, it's so much about all those highlights and stuff, but I try with almost everything I can to not look at my shooting percentage. Because
does it work?
I do my best.
Yeah.
Because like,
it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, because for example, there's a lot of different stuff that's people send to me and different articles and stuff about me, and I don't read anything. I don't listen. I don't read anything about me. It's the best that I can, because my focus isn't on them. My confidence isn't based on what those people are saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because especially if I'm focused on that, then my shooting percentage is going to go down.
Right.
100%. It's just wild how those things work together.
Yep. Part of being a good leader is being able to pick people up when they're down. When you see a struggling teammate, how do you approach them? What do you say to them when they're just going through it?
Yeah, I think it starts before the experience. When they're down, you have to figure out how to build a relationship with them to where in those moments they're willing to listen to you. But just helping them to see that, like, you care about them and you want them to succeed.
Yep.
And are willing to help them figure it out.
Big time. Big time. All right. Start, bench, and cut. You got Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Dirk Nowitzki.
It's a random three. That's a random three. Man, there's a big three. I think I'm starting Dirk.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Benching Tim.
Benching Tim?
Well, I don't want to cut him. Right? I only get 3 options, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, then what you got, limit? You got, who was the other one? KG?
KG.
I'm sorry.
You gone.
It's cut. But those are some
hard question.
That's a loaded question right there.
Question. All right. Giannis, Embiid, or Jokic?
Jokic.
This should be an easy one. You're starting Jokic.
I'm starting Jokic.
Bench. Giannis.
No, I'm just kidding, Giannis. Can't do that to my guy Wiz, man. And then Embiid for sure.
Cutting Embiid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All incredible
Same
people,
page.
what they do.
Same page. This is a tough one. Steph, Luka, KD. I also think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, Steph, start, bench, Luka, and KD.
Cut KD.
I hate to say it.
So you want KD over Luka? Or sorry, you want Luka over KD?
I think so. At this current state, yeah.
Okay.
But
prime.
again, all incredible at what they do, man. Let me just get on the floor with them, though.
I mean, you might be seeing these dudes in a year. All right, let's see. Tatum, Jimmy Butler, or Kawhi? Let's consider them all in their primes.
Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi start. Man, I like the defensive mentality of Kawhi and Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to my Boston Celtics.
Tatum's gone.
Yeah.
Who's the best player you've ever played against? You played with and against a lot of really good players, but who's the best?
Guys. I mean, like, not even just thinking about what they are now, but honestly, Cole Anthony, who I think he's on the Hornets, Magic. In high school, man,
he's a dog.
It was I was like, who's this dude? And then he came out and was just an incredible leader. The way he just like orchestrated his guys was like actually like I think I was a junior when I played him, and I was just like, man, like this guy, like there's something special about him.
I remember we played in Vegas. We played Atlanta Express.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, and if we had won that game, we would have played PSA. Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
We didn't win, but it ended up being Anthony Edwards versus Cole Anthony, which was an insane matchup. And I think Cole actually ended up winning.
So fun. That was a long time ago. That's crazy.
Man. It's crazy. Time flies. If Richie Saunders wasn't playing basketball right now, what would he be doing? Desk job? Car wash?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I would be studying really hard. Like, I need to be studying that hard right now. But yeah, I honestly want to figure out how to work in nonprofits full time.
Cool.
I want to figure out how to help people for a living.
Right. You're part of the Foos Foundation, right? Tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
I mean, that's kind of we've had some really good projects in the past, but it's kind of had to be put on hold. Like me and Sierra started a foundation this last summer, and so I mean we're just trying to figure it all out of how to help people. Like for example, basketball's given us so much, like I already said, but just like I want people to latch on to something that can teach them so much, like basketball has done for me.
Yeah.
So we've done different free basketball camps for some internationally, some locally, of just focus on different characteristics of a leader. It's like hard work, consistency, team-minded, like sacrifice, all those different things. So each day we would focus on that. And that's been a cool little thing, and that'll continue to develop. And we'll see what happens, but yeah,
that's cool. Good for you guys. Last question: what is BYU ceiling this year?
I mean, we're here to win a national championship. It's a lot harder to do than to say, but we're trying to do what we can now to put us in a position for that.
Yep. Amen. Well, Richie, I appreciate you joining the pod, man.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Being here.
Yeah, even for J-Mac, man.
I appreciate that. Cool. This episode of Rise and Lead is brought to you by Pennant, building the next generation of leaders. Follow on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. I'm Jared McGregor. I'll catch you guys next time.